Okay, so I just want to prepare myself for this video in case I get this job, because this is a 2016 Honda CR-V and it's got a timing cover leak and it's out of warranty. But this customer has been bringing their car to another dealership, and I know which dealership it is because they swapped the license plate frames on this car, right? But they did buy this car from us brand new in 2016 because there's a new car detail. And then they came to us for an oil change, probably because we had a promo on our oil change. But today, a year later, because I guess it's due for an oil change, it is just coming in for a regular B service. But if you look at history, we did mention on their oil change, right, that there is an oil leak. Let me see if I can show you. There's found oil stain around passenger side on the engine, under the vehicle, on the engine passenger. So there was an oil leak when they came in to look at it. It typically leaks between the cylinder head and also the cylinder block. So it's usually around that area that leaks. Either they don't put enough silicone there, or they didn't clean it well enough, and there's still some oil residue in that area before they stick the timing cover on at the factory. So let me just show you underneath the hood. But which sucks is now it's out of warranty, and this is customer pay. I don't know, maybe usually something like this, they never bring the car out to us for service. Our manager will probably goodwill it. I don't know. We don't know what happens up above, but you know, things will happen for customer satisfaction. That's why our CSI is pretty good, and we get gifts. So anyways, let me take you underneath the hood. I might as well get you guys this. This car has very low mileage, 73,000 kilometers. So that's like barely 45,000 miles for you guys. So very low mileage on this car. Hey, I don't know how well this is going to show, but you can see where all that oil here is, right? And then if you go here, that underneath the engine mount, it's all soaked in oil. So you can see all that dirt already, but that bolt down there, right there, that's usually where the cylinder head meets the cylinder block on the timing cover, and it leaks because the valve cover isn't leaking, right? Valve cover isn't leaking, it's all dry. It's not the VTC solenoid that's leaking with the O-ring that typically does it, or the VTEC solenoid back there. So I'll show you underneath, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's completely leaking. And the other thing is, it's got the original battery, 8 years old, still going, but it's starting to get weak. So I also quoted for one of these batteries too. So I already changed the oil, but it has a new filter on it. I also got to clean up all this. You can see all the oil and everything, right? You can see it on the AC compressor. So it looked like the oil filter was leaking, but no, it's all that oil leaking from this timing cover. See if I can get it. So if you can see from right over there, it's coming from up there, and it leaks all the way down to the front, and then it gets blown all the way back here, and then yeah. But when we have the cover off, I can also reseal this plate too. So that's what it is. I don't know how well it's just going to show on camera. Maybe with my phone light will be better. So you can see all that oil from there. It's coming from up there, where that bolt is. Usually where the cylinder head and the cylinder block meets. You can see the VTC solenoid is dry under there, so it's not that. It's not the VTEC solenoid. And yeah, that's all the oil down here. So this could have been done under warranty if they had brought it back to where they bought it from. And I like to do timing covers because I do a lot of timing covers back at Hyundai. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys this just to prepare for a video, because yeah, not a lot of times where a customer would actually pay for a big repair, something as like this, because our shop rate is like $175. It's pretty up there. I remember, you know, 10 years ago, shop rates were there was less than $100. I remember working at a shop, $99.95 was our shop rate, but now everything's gone up. We're actually $175. We're actually on the low end. Other dealerships are actually $200 and more. But yeah, that was like 10 years ago. And you know what happened 10 years ago? JT happened. Yeah, yeah. But even though our shop rate has gone up, our wages hasn't really gone up very much. Couple, not even 50 cents since the last how many years. So yeah, just to let you guys know. So actually, my uncle actually asked me if I wanted to work for the city because the city pays pretty well and good benefits, and I'm actually kind of thinking about it. So I don't know. We'll see. My uncle actually welds bus frames back in the day for a living. He also knew my teacher, and my teacher looked at me and like, hey, you look familiar. He's like, you know so and so. I'm like, yeah, that's my uncle. It was like he told me the story back when they were working together. They used to weld bus frames and stuff. So yeah, my uncle's a body. He does auto body and body stuff. So anyways, I'll bring you guys if I actually get this job. So we'll see. All right, so it's the next morning. I actually got the job at the end of the day, so they gave me all the gaskets, Honda bond, and also got the battery. But yeah, yesterday I actually worked on 3 of these Honda CRVs. There was a 15, there was a 16. 2 out of the 3 were burning oil. They both came in with less than a quart of oil in them, but they also had almost 100,000 miles on them. So more than what this thing has. So this thing's not burning oil yet, but just make sure you keep up with your oil changes on these things, because some of these will go close to 10,000 miles on the maintenance reminder, because it really depends on how you drive. You do a lot of highway, then yeah, you're looking at almost 10,000 miles when that maintenance reminder goes down to like 5%. And some people go by that, and yeah, you get a lot of oil burning. Funny fact, we own a 2016, I think 2017 Honda Accord. We've been using 5W30 oil in it. It has over 100,000 miles, and it doesn't burn any oil. But it still gets the VTC actuator rattle though, but yeah, it is what it is. The difference in viscosity in the oil doesn't really change the fact that the VTC actuator rattles. So yeah, but that car was getting frequent oil changes, which is like 6,000 kilometers, which is maybe almost 4,000 miles, close to 4,000 miles, oil change intervals. So we don't really go by the oil change maintenance reminder on the dash. Usually go before that. I think it wrote 40 when it shows up to like 40 or 40%. My dad actually changes it. But yeah, anyways, this timing cover isn't too bad. I think this one is a little more difficult, maybe, compared to the other one. I'm not sure. Probably not. But it does have this little hump here. It might be in the way to help sliding out the timing cover and sliding in the timing cover, just so you don't touch the silicone or anything against anything. But yeah, we'll just remove the valve cover. I'm gonna have to remove this engine mount, move the drive belt, and take the crank pulley out, take all the bolts out, and then pop the timing cover off. There's a couple gaskets behind there that I gotta change, and then yeah, the majority of the job is making sure that everything is clean before you stick timing cover back in, and it can't leak after that. So yeah, anyways, let's get started. I just started removing stuff. So yeah, today I'm gonna be staying pretty late. So my shift starts at 7:30, but it's supposed to end at 4, but I'm staying here till 8 p.m. Just because we're so behind on used cars and whatever the sales department needs us to do. So today's going to be a good 13-hour shift, but I guess our manager is going to be buying us dinner tonight. So we'll be staying here late to catch up on work for the sales department for getting all the used cars going. If you're wondering, no, we don't get overtime as a flat rate tech. You just get to make a little bit more money at the same rate. So we don't get overtime. That's the life of a flat rate tech, I guess. Everywhere I've gone, they don't give you overtime. You just make as many hours as you can as a flat rate tech, and that's it. So I kind of removed the stuff that was here, and it really opens up the space for you to access everything. Just to get you a better look, here's the oil leak right there, right? And then if you want to remember the belt routing, you can get your camera, take a picture. That's what it looks like. So yeah, other than that, this thing has a mount in the front right there and a mount in the back, so you don't really need a jack, a floor jack. But I use it just so I can jack it up and kind of angle it so I can reach all the bolts. And then I think there's maybe a bolt in the middle somewhere that's right against the body. You just got to angle it just enough so you can get it out. I don't think this one is the one. It might be the other non-Earth-Dream K series motor. And then, yeah, just take the belt off, and it's like a bunch of 10 mils, 12 mils, and I think, yeah, just a bunch of bolts. And you also got to remove this VTC solenoid and VTEC solenoid that's over there. And yeah, this job is not terrible. You can probably DIY this and save you a lot of labor. So you're probably saving yourself 3.8 hours of labor doing a timing cover reseal. I think all the gaskets all together is probably less than $200. You know, valve cover gasket, VTC solenoid gasket, VTEC solenoid gasket. There's a little O-ring behind the timing cover, crank seal, and then this is Honda Bond. Yeah, other than that, the only hard part is make sure everything is clean before you reseal it, or you're gonna be doing it again. That's the only downside of it, because yeah, if it didn't seal the first time you put it on, you're gonna be doing it a second time. And that's why, you know, if you do it and you're not confident, you get somebody to do it, like a dealership, then, you know, it's under warranty for like, I don't know, a year, 1 year, 20,000 if it still leaks. But usually if there's a leak, it's gonna leak right away. So yeah. So my next door neighbor, he's doing a torque converter on a Pilot, right? But I just wanted to mention, he traded in his Honda, what is that, a 2019 Honda Odyssey? It's a 2020 Honda Odyssey, and he traded it in to get a brand new Toyota 4Runner 2024. Last year you can get the 4Runner because they're coming out with the 2025.
I just got in there.
Yeah, he just got in there. They had it, and he went to buy it. So he got a Honda tech buying a brand new Toyota.
Yeah, thanks to Tom here.
Yeah, thanks to me, because he saw my 4Runner, and now he wanted one, so he got one. So you remember how I was talking about yesterday, how, you know, my uncle asked me if I wanted to work for the city. I actually found out this morning that my coworker next to me, he actually got a job for the city, and his last day is on Saturday. And I found this out today, so that was a bit of a shocker. But yeah, I guess that's how things are here. You know, we get revolving doors of you know, techs. But yeah, anyways. I got the valve cover off. There's a bunch of rodent droppings and junk that likes to collect back here. So I got myself a vacuum to suck all that stuff out. And then, yeah, got the VTC solenoid out. Gonna get that VTEC solenoid out, right? Because, you know, this thing has VTEC. And yeah, I don't think I have to, oh, no light. You don't have to take any of this off. But you do have to take the crank pulley out, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, I think I got all the bolts off, but just like one last check, you just want to make sure. Oh, you can see one bolt underneath there. I always forget that one. It just hides into that groove, and you can never see it from this angle because it's like up into there. So unless you get yourself a mirror, you know, just look around. Those two over there, I don't think I need to remove it because they don't go long enough into the timing cover to bolt to the block. But there is that one up in that corner where the VTC solenoid is, so I gotta remove that. I think everything else is pretty good. I don't see anything else. Yeah, anyways, it wasn't too hard. I just like popped it off, and surprisingly, I felt like it came off pretty easily. Oh, make sure that gasket behind there doesn't fall in. There's two gaskets. There's this guy, and then there's a O-ring that if you don't catch it, it's gonna fall when you reinstall the timing cover. So there, it's yeah, it's kind of scary because you can slap on the timing cover, and then that little O-ring back there that's supposed to be on the timing cover will fall, and you don't even know until you know, something happens. And I'll show you once I take this timing cover off. Okay, so the O-ring I'm talking about sits right there, right? And on the timing cover, it's right here. There's two, but for them to stay in there, you have to make sure that it stays there, because it doesn't actually stay in these grooves. And those are just for the holes for the VTEC solenoid. I don't know if I can show you. It's kind of like a pass-through down there. See those two right there? Yeah. So you gotta put some like tiny bit of silicone onto the O-rings when you put it on the timing cover, because they can fall off and then, you know, fall down into the oil pan when you slap the timing cover back on. So make sure. The other thing, I want to show you where it's leaking from. You can definitely see it when you have the timing cover off, where it's leaking. You see this area, you see all the silicone? This area where the cylinder head is either was not clean at the factory when they sealed it, right? Because that's where the silicone didn't stick, and that's where your timing cover is leaking. That side is okay, you can see. I'm gonna flip you guys around. If you look on this side of the timing cover, it's stuck pretty good. You don't see like a clean spot of oil when you pull off the timing cover. So that side is sealing and it's not leaking. Oh, okay, I gotta help my buddy here. I'm back. Just had to help my next door neighbor here with his torque converter on his Pilot. But yeah, I just wanted to point out to you what I'm talking about, where it's leaking from. And it's right there, that shiny spot where no silicone is sticking to. And that's where your timing cover is leaking from, and it's usually where the cylinder head meets the block, right there. So yeah, now you can see, right? And yeah, now it's just me having to clean off all the silicone and everything, and then make sure everything's clean, and you know, no oil residue. Advisor called, said the customer was asking if it was done yet. And it's not even 10 o'clock yet, and I started this job in the morning. They approved it at the end of the day. So I don't think the customer understands that this job is pretty time consuming, because it's just under 4 hours, right? And then you also have to have the time for the silicone to dry and everything. So that was what my phone call was this morning. But anyways, I just use this Scotch-Brite pad, and then you just clean the surface, and you get this nice clean surface to get rid of the silicone. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, anyways, customer's expecting it to be done, but I told him I'm probably going to be done by 12 cleaning everything, and then it's going to have time to dry, which is, I'm going to say, about 5:30 at the end of the day, since that's what we're open till. And the yeah, since I'm staying here till 8 to do internal work to help sales department to catch up on stuff. So yeah, I told them 5:30 it'll be done when the silicone dries. If not, and you don't let it dry, it's gonna leak again, and yeah, I don't want to be doing this again. All right, so what do you guys think? Nice and clean. This thing will focus. So surface is clean. Here's the oil pan part. It's pretty good. I might do a final wipe with some brake clean before I slap on the what do you call it? Slap on the timing cover. So also the surface up there is all clean. I just got to give it a wipe, because I cleaned up the top, and then I came down here to do the cleaning, and then now I'm recording. Oil pan looks pretty clean, right? Oh, there's a little junk I can see in that hole now that I have my camera here. So everything's nice and clean. Now I just got to work on the timing cover. Cleaned off the front of the timing cover from all the dirt and oil. I'm gonna have to reseal that timing chain tensioner cover. All the surfaces here are nice and clean. There's a couple of holes that I still gotta pick out the silicone out of, which is like this guy This guy, all the other holes are pretty good, right? I missed that one, and then all the surfaces here. So before I put silicone on it, I'm gonna give it a final wipe. But for now, I'm gonna pick out those silicone out of the holes, change the crank seal, and then take this timing chain tensioner cover off, and then reseal that. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And what time are we at? Since the customer's so in a hurry to get their car back, it's 10:30 right now. So I should be having this timing cover on before 12, and then 5:30 for the silicone to settle and dry. So that's a good 5.5 hours. So with the final wipe on the surfaces, I don't use the shop rag. I use paper towel, and for that reason is because and that's because even though our shop rags are clean, they also retain oil residue. Even though they've been cleaned and, you know, sent to us, there's still oil residue. So I don't trust shop rags for, you know, doing the final wipe of the surfaces when I put the silicone on. So I always use paper towel. That's just to prevent any kind of oil residue on the surface that will prevent the silicone from sticking. So that's what I use, paper towel. These O-rings, I put a little bit of silicone into the groove, and then I put the O-rings in there so it holds it in place. I wipe off the excess that's, you know, I guess protrudes out past the gasket so it doesn't, you know, get into, you know, in the holes or something. And then I just give it a wipe so the surface of the O-ring is clean when I stick it on the onto the engine. So that's what I do. So I'm gonna put these O-rings, let this thing set for a little bit. I'm gonna do a final wipe on the engine block to make sure that everything's all clean of oil, and then I'll apply silicone onto this timing cover, and then it's ready to stick onto there. So yeah, it's only 11:30, so I got the timing cover on sooner than expected. So other than all the other stuff I got to put on, like the valve cover, the belt, the crank pulley, I already got the VTEC solenoid and the BTC solenoid in, replace those gaskets. So this customer will be able to pick up the car at the end of the day at 5:30, yeah, at that time I can put oil in it, check it, see if it's leaking, and I'm pretty sure the silicone should be close to dry or completely dry by then. That's plenty of time. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish everything and move on to my next job. I'm about to put the valve cover back on, and I just want to show you the 6 places that you need to put silicone in. You want to put silicone in this spot, same thing on the other side, because it's the same thing on the other side, and then you want to put one between the timing cover and the cylinder head, and then same thing over here. So there are 6 places you got to put some silicone before you slap on the valve cover back on. So yeah, excuse the puddle of oil here because I've been just, you know, douching everything and make sure all the oil is free and clean, but everything in the front here is all nice and shiny now. So if there is an oil leak, I'll definitely know, or I definitely will see it. Well, customer wants to pick up at 4:30, so right now it is 3:30. I'm gonna put my oil in there, and then that gives me some time to run it and make sure there's nothing leaking. Oh, I realized there's music. There we go. Let's start her up. I already replaced the battery over there, so that's all done. And then yeah. All right, let's start her up. Okay, clock says 1 o'clock, so I gotta adjust the clock. No warning lights. Actually, you can cycle the key. I gotta. Settings. Right now it is 3:30. Clock adjustment. There's 3:30. Oh, too far. There you go, 330. So yeah, now I just run it and then lift it up and see if there's anything leaking. Usually 2 key cycles will set off a two key cycle check engine light, but nope. Okay. Okay, so it's been like half an hour and it's been running. I also cleaned up this top area here with all that oil, and then just kept cleaning it with brake clean until it's completely clean. So that's all good. You know how much brake clean we go through a week? Like 300 liters. So we use more brake clean than we charge shop supplies to customers. We actually cap our shop supplies at $20, so it doesn't go any more than that. It's a certain percentage. I don't know what the percentage it is, but our shop supplies that we charge customer is capped at 20 bucks. But you know, with all the brake clean we're going through, just like me cleaning all the oil and everything, yeah, you go through brake clean a lot. But even under here, I got nothing dripping on the oil pan, so I'm good. I better put the car back down. I should kick out the exhaust too. If you're wondering, our exhaust goes into the floor. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. That's it for this repair video, I guess. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below, check out the description, and you know, check out my Amazon affiliate store. That'll definitely help me out because I get a little bit of commission and if you buy something through it. But other than that, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.